Halo Reach needs a classic playlist, and in this video I'll explain why. For those of you that don't know, Reach currently uses title update settings unless playing Infection, Griffball, Invasion, or Hardcore. So what exactly did the title update do? Let's break it down.
Está better.
Disabled sword block. I have mixed feelings about this one. On one hand, I feel that sword blocking raised the skill ceiling, but I've also felt the frustration of being sword blocked. If I had to pick one, I'd bring it back for the sake of more variety in gameplay and a higher skill cap. Reduced active camouflage. This one's simple. Active camo's timer was reduced by 15 seconds. I see no issue with this change since active camo is still a viable option, especially for radar denial. Reduced armor lock. I think this was a welcome change for everyone. I think even armor lock users could agree it was overpowered. In original Reach, you were invulnerable the entire time using the ability and could even plasma shed, which means you'd remove a plasma grenade stuck to you. In the title update, if you were damaged while using armor lock, it would drain the ability's energy level, and if you were stuck with a plasma grenade, you were dead. Modified bloom. This reduced bloom to 85%, making the DMR less random, and making the Needler rifle effectively have no bloom at all. The community was pretty split about bloom, so I think this was a fair compromise between vanilla settings and zero bloom. I would consider all of the changes listed so far as tweaks, but the following alterations changed the entirety of the meta and rendered the majority of Reach's sandbox useless. Damage bleed through, also known as overspill. In vanilla Reach, if your shields were low but not empty, a DMR headshot or melee hit would not kill you. It would just deplete the last of your shields. With the title update, however, if your shields are low, a DMR headshot or melee attack will kill you. This completely changed the combat meta and, in my opinion, lowered the skill ceiling. Close quarters combat used to be intricate, requiring precise timing for melee attacks only after the enemy's shields were completely down. If you meleeed too early, you'd only hit their shields and they'd kill you. If you meleeed too late, they'd probably melee you first and you'd die. Regardless of who won the fist fight, there'd usually be a clear victor. With the title update, there's no waiting for shields to pop. You shoot them a few times and you start swinging. There's two major flaws to bleed through. One, there's no clear indication of when you're one-shot. Everyone who plays Halo knows that pop sound, followed by the blaring alarm alerting you to the fact that you're one-shot. This feedback is crucial to the attempt to survive, and to avoid frustration from dying due to lack of warning. 2. The amount of mutual deaths increases greatly. For those that don't know, a mutual is when you and your opponent kill each other at the same time. Once again, this lowers the skill ceiling and detracts from the sandbox because people will rely more on a simple melee than utilizing other options and tools at their disposal. These issues are magnified even more so by the implementation of DMR starts. To be frank, DMR starts ruin Reach's sandbox. Why would anyone pick up a plasma repeater, a needler, a concussion rifle, or use an assault rifle or a magnum when they're handed a potent mid-range weapon with fast time to kill? That's like giving everyone in Counter-Strike an AK every round, and the only worthwhile upgrade would be the op. Aside from rendering most weapons obsolete, it breaks most maps. Typical Slayer maps weren't designed with DMR starts in mind. On any map, you can start shooting the enemy team in a matter of steps. This results in people camping one side of the map and shooting from afar most of the time, or rotating only on the outskirts of the map. If you try to go out in the open at all, it's almost a guaranteed death. Don't get me wrong, I think DMR starts are a necessity for larger maps, especially for modes like Big Team Battle. But when it comes to standard Slayer, AR starts should be the norm, not the exception. I understand why the title update came to be. Reach was an incredibly divisive game. Some fans praised the changes, while others wanted settings more akin to other games in the franchise and didn't want to be left out of a major title. But the game wasn't designed to be played this way, and now we're left with these Frankenstein settings that try and force the game to be more like other Halo titles. Reach was the only game in the series that didn't have bleed through, which created a truly unique gameplay experience. Many people on PC are experiencing not only Reach for the first time, but Halo as a whole, and they're being robbed of the game's genuine experience. If you've made it this far, I want you to ask yourself something. Now that we have the Master Chief Collection, why wouldn't we want Reach to be the unique game it was meant to be? If you don't like the lack of bleed through or the armor abilities, there's a treasure trove of other amazing titles in the series at our disposal.